Um, First of all, welcome back to SoulBack. This is the R&B podcast here. Kyle back with Ed. Tom is missing in action because it is super duper early, and I think as a father, you don't get a lot of sleep, especially with a newborn.
I don't think so. I spent the last week and a half in Vegas visiting my new niece. She's like
Mm.
5 months old. My brother-in-law has not slept in 5 months. So I can understand my boy Tom going through it. So shout out to my boy. He's missed. Maybe, unless he says something dumb, then he's not missed.
I haven't really been sleeping either, but for other reasons. Ed, I got a PS5.
Oh, player. Yes, I heard the news that you got the
Yes,
PS5. So
yes.
what did you get? What games did you get?
So it came with Ratchet and Clank. Let me tell you this Ratchet and Clank story before we get into R&B.
Okay.
It comes with that game. I don't want that game, but the problem is it's part of the bundle, and I got impatient, so I bought the bundle. So I've been having like the hardest time trying to sell that game. I cannot do it. I'm
I
on
heard
like
it was a good game though. It's not good.
I'm sure it's good, but it's a single player game and there's no online capability. So I'm like,
Uh,
what am I gonna do with this? So I've been trying to sell it on Facebook Market. Couldn't do it until recently someone offered an extra controller, a brand new controller for that game. Now, I don't know if it's a good deal or not, but the way I see it, a controller's value doesn't go down, a video game might go down.
Let me tell you, as someone who bought an extra PS5 controller and it costs either the same amount or more than a regular game,
Yeah,
get the controller.
there you go. Genius.
Yes.
Uh, but Ed, we have a lot to talk about in R&B this week.
Yep.
We'll start off quickly here, saying R.I.P. to Andrea Martin.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Prolific songwriter. Wrote
Player.
so many great songs from Before You Walk Out of My Life, Monica, I Love Me Some Him, Tony Braxton. Even recently, in the last 10 years, It Kills Me, Melanie Fiona. There's a
It
lot of great songs here.
you talk about it kills me. She's really one of those unsung songwriters. And I talk all the time for those who know your boy, soulandstereo.com, especially the Soul and Stereo Cypher on Facebook. Go hang out with us there. Got to get that plug in. Every time I go out of town, it's called the vacation curse because when
Mm.
I go out of town, we lose somebody. And unfortunately, we lost her. Last time I went out of town, it was my man Omar from The Wire. It's ridiculous. But she is the pen behind so many of my favorite songs. One of my favorite Silk songs. You mentioned Monica, you mentioned Tony.
Yeah.
In Vogue, Don't Let Go. I'm telling you, so many songs that y'all love. She is the architect. And I hate that we're losing so many great, prolific, behind the scenes contributors at a young age. Like, real talk, she's not that much older than me. So
Mm-hmm.
this is something that hits my mortality. And it's a big, big blow to R&B. She had a lot more to give. As you said, that those Melanie Fiona songs were not old. We're talking about stuff that was in the past decade. So she was still contributing, still doing a lot, and I really hate that we lost her.
Absolutely. And that Angie Stone record, Wish I Didn't Miss You.
Yes, player. I'm
Oh,
telling you, some of my favorite songs of all time were credited to her.
and I didn't realize Breathe by Blue Cantrell and Sean Paul, that was her as well.
That was her as well. My old friend Blue even had a track off of that. So
Yeah.
again, man, I really want. We talk a lot about verses, and I know verses has evolved to like the big stars and
Yeah.
this and that, and people beefing on Twitter. I want verses to go back and celebrate the songwriters because we got to get these folks. I know you get tired of the phrase. I get tired of the phrase giving flowers.
Yeah.
But there are so many y'all that have contributed to so much that we love to never get any recognition. And I would love for a verses to shout out those songwriters that you don't even know, but they got hits on their resume.
Yeah, because I'm looking at her resume right now and like, we obviously talk a lot about our favorite producers and songwriters, and most times than not, it's the male producers and songwriters. And, I don't think it's a fault to us. It's just the industry and how it's set up. The males get more opportunities, but some of these females, like we talk about Missy a lot, we talk about Candy, we talk about Carrie Hilson, but Andrea Martin is up there as well. So you definitely have to recognize what she's done. Definitely a big loss to the industry. And, I think what we can do is celebrate her by listening to all this great music that she's put out because she has solo material as well.
Yes, and I mean, unfortunately, we live in a world that I mean, we don't even have to go into details where the male experience is elevated and the women's experience is not. But don't we can't discount the credit that they've done, and even the women that you name. I'm
Hmm.
putting Andrea near the top of that list if you want to be real. She's near
Yeah.
the top
Yep.
because of her prolific pen, and to your point, she's an artist in herself that didn't get the credit that she deserved. But so much has she has done to the credit of R&B. Man, we got to do more to show these I mean architects and geniuses some love. They deserve it.
Hmm. So, RIP to Andrea Martin. Now, Ed, I want to quickly switch gears here. Silk Sonic.
Yes, my boys.
The last time we had a conversation, we had a bet going on who would drop the album first, Silk Sonic or Usher. And we thought about COVID as a factor as to why people aren't dropping albums right now. And it makes sense. The Delta variant is still raging on. But Silk Sonic recently announced they're dropping that album in November. That's like next month, 1 month from today. And wow, like everyone thought it was coming in 2022. I think it even came out of their mouth.
Yeah, they said that it was coming in January 2022. And people have asked, well, what happened? This is just your boy speculating. So don't
Yep.
throw me up on box up and say that I said this, but this is what I'm speculating. I
Hmm.
really think that this rollout, they wanted to go old school. They had the massive first single, and I think they wanted to build kind of interest over time to a fever pitch, as we saw in the glory days. We can see from this project that is inspired by a previous generation. I think that's where they wanted to go. I think the plan was to drop the big single, leave the door open, then we drop Skate, and then by the time we get to January, everybody's going crazy. You drop the album, and boom, right in time for a spring tour. We'll be ready to go. No more COVID. Yay. But I think what happened is that Skate just didn't pop as well as it should have. And it's not a bad song at all.
No.
It's a song. It's just, it wasn't Leave the Door Open level. So since it didn't pop, I think they're kind of like, let's just put the album out. It's done. I never bought the whole, oh, we're still working on the album. Like that album's been done. So I think they just decided to just roll with it. And as a fan, gimme, gimme, gimme. So
Yep.
it's all good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this is gonna do after the release of Skate. Again, not a bad song, but that momentum I think had definitely slowed down after that song came out, and it didn't take off like Leave the Door Open. I mean, Bruno Mars is going to get the opportunities just because he's a superstar, but the rollout for this is definitely interesting. I think the music's gonna be fine. Both are talented. The vibe that they're going with is definitely one that I think we both like. It's interesting though, Ed. I've seen tweets where people have these like conspiracy theories that Silk Sonic was probably originally just as it was created as a joke. Bruno were like and Silk and Anderson .Paak were like, let's just put this song together and see what happens. And then when it worked, they're like, crap, now we got to make an album together.
No,
Do you buy that theory?
I don't know if I buy that theory. I mean, who knows? Who I wasn't there with them. I don't know, but I do think because remember they not only came out with a song, but they came out with the Bootsy Collins intro. So if they
Yes.
were trolling, this was like big con job. So I don't buy that. I think that's just Twitter expected gadgeting as they always do. But regardless of how it started, I think the end product is going to be good. It has been
Mm-hmm.
stated we're only going to get 9 songs here, and
Yes.
I know the playlist generation is going to throw their draws in the air because they cannot create. How am I going to make a playlist when you only give me 9 songs? That's because it ain't a playlist. This is going
Yes.
to be an album. This is going to be the best of your best. I say it in my reviews. Give me your best. Don't give me your everything. Give me your
Yep.
best. So this is what we're going to get. It has the possibility to be a really big deal. We shall see.
Yes. It's interesting now listening to all these albums coming that have a retro sound to it. And because R&B is kind of different now where we don't hear the emoting, the feeling that we used to in albums. When I listen to like Silk Sonic, Bruno's last album, and I want to shout out this album to the Shindella's album, which has a
Ooh,
which has a throwback retro feel to it as well.
we're going to get on my girls very soon, but go
Well,
ahead.
well, I was gonna ask, how do you even capture that feeling on a record? Because like I tried listening to the Shindella's album, and I was trying to pinpoint like where are they getting this feeling from that when I listen to it, it takes me back to the good days in R&B? Like, is it the way that they're singing? Is it the production? Like, what's the science to it? Because some of those Shindella records are crazy, and like it immediately took me back. And it might be the harmonies, that might be what it is, but it like took me back to like, man, this is when R&B was good, good.
Is everything you mentioned. It is
Yeah.
the harmonies, it is the writing, it is the production. It is, and I talked about this in my Shindella's review. Go check that out. Man, we haven't podcasted in a long time. I haven't talked about a Shindella's review. But
Yes.
when you look at everything that is, think of all the great R&B albums that we've talked about in the past 15 years or so. They all have similarities, and one of them strong songwriting that connects to everybody, not just one segment, not just like, oh, if you on Twitter you get it. Like everybody can understand because they're universal feelings. You talk about the production, lush, whether it's the production not even has to be lush, but it has to match the message of the song. It ain't just a trap beat because we all doing trap beats. It matches whatever the story of the song is that goes along with it. Ties to the writing, strong creative writing. I'm not talking about these little IG statuses that they all are making songs or just rambles. Like that's not good writing. And then the performances, that's what does it. You layer those harmonies, those three stacks that my girl Cindella's do, or
Hmm.
the passion that you hear from Bruno. Like you hear them because they're singing from a place. They aren't just let me read these lines off my phone and just read them in it. Like that's not the passion. This is a problem I have with hip hop too. Your performance has to match the story of the song. And
Yeah.
I feel like that is the message that you get from the classics. It's not about sounding old or having a beat that sounds like it's from 1960, but it's using the elements that made those songs great in 2021 to make good music. It can be done.
Yeah, and I think the Shindellas did that. And you know what's cool about this Shindellas album, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same thing with Bruno. All their songs are over 3 minutes long, which doesn't seem like it should be a issue, but like every song now is like 2 minutes and 37 seconds. If that, it's like it's gotten down to like a minute and 59, Ed.
Yes, and it doesn't have time to breathe. And again, we're training. There will be people listening that will be yelling in my inbox. E.T.
Yes.
Bowser on Twitter, go yell at me there. Leave Kyle alone. But what the issue is, we're training a generation to say it doesn't matter. Like, the McDonald's version of these songs is fine dining. It's okay,
Yeah.
but it's not fine dining. When you have there's a Shindella song that's like 7 minutes. And I'm
Yep.
not saying every song needs to be 7 minutes, but you build like you start at something, you build to a crescendo, and then you emote. It's like if you're in the Marvel, the Endgame movie, that movie was like what, 3.5 hours or something. It had
Yeah.
to be that long because that was the story they told. If it was 90 minutes, movie
Fine
would have been
dining.
like,
When you have
Yep.
there's a Shindella
that's
song
what.
that's like 7 minutes, and I'm not saying every
And I
song
got
needs to
this
be
idea. It
seven
sounds kind
minutes,
of dark,
but you
but just
build
hear me out
like
here. Without the
you
violence.
start at something,
Squid
you
Game
build
is
to a
the
crescendo,
Squid
and
Game is
then
that you
you
have to make a
emote.
song
It's
longer than
like
three
if
minutes,
you're in the
or else
Marvel,
you're.
the Endgame movie. That movie was like what, 3.5
Can we do
hours
Let's
or
that?
make that
something.
happen.
It had to be
Yeah.
that
Get
long because
the
that was the
doll baby
story they
lady.
told.
Where's
If it was
the
90
baby with
minutes,
the
movie
eyes?
would have been
Yeah.
like,
Oh
If
yes,
your song is
Yep.
less than
that's
3 minutes, we're shooting you up.
yes.
Ed, I
But
got
you
this
know what I
idea. It
want to
sounds kind
see?
of dark, but
I want to see
just
someone
hear me out
sample the
here.
Squid Game theme
Without the
song. That song is
violence.
scary.
Squid Game.
without the violence.
The
Hold on
Squid
a bit,
Game is that
Tyler.
you have to make a
Some
song longer
random
than three
feedback. Do you hear
minutes,
that?
or else you're.
No, I think I'm good.
Can
Let's
we do
make
that?
that happen. Get the doll baby lady. Where's the baby with?
Do you still hear it?
Nope.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, what were you saying about Squid Game, lady?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say someone needs to sample the theme song of that. It's scary as hell.
Oh my gosh, yes. We need somebody to flip that. It's Halloween, so let's flip
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I know people are like, "Oh, I'm tired of hearing about Squid Game." We're trying to get Tom to watch it, but he doesn't watch anything but Braves game, so that
Yeah.
ain't gonna work.
You know.
But player, watch that because you will be creeped out. Did you ever finish it?
Oh, yeah, I finished it yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
that bridge, that glass bridge. I won't spoil it, but
Oh my
that
God. Yeah.
had I was sweating bullets, dog.
Yeah.
Sweating bullets.
Yeah. I don't know how they come up with that stuff, but back to that conversation about samples here. Well, first of all, I need someone to do the Squid Game sample, but I want
Oh
to
my God.
I want to talk about samples in R&B because it's becoming uh more relevant to us because a lot of our favorite songs are being sampled from that like late 90s, early 2000s. And I must say, even though I'm not opposed to sampling, I don't want that to be the message that comes across. A lot of these samples are really, it doesn't sit easy with me, maybe because I'm so familiar with the songs. But I think even the way that they're sampling it, like they're trying to make a copy of the original as opposed to creating a new song with the sample being, you know, part of it. I think a song that does a really good job of the sample is on the Sevyn Streeter album, the song Taboo, which
Mm.
samples Alexander O'Neal. So, Ed, using that song as an example versus some of the songs that we're hearing that are samples from older songs and they sound like clones, what is the difference here?
See, I'm glad you brought this up. I mentioned this on social media, and people are like being all like, "Oh no, what song are you? Who's he dissing? Name names." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
play. I'm not. I'm not really throwing shots like that." Here's the issue, and you pointed it out well. I am never going to diss sampling ever, ever, ever. And it is ironic to me that we have become a generation that suddenly we're seeing pushback against samples. Because I'm old enough to remember, dog, when our parents were pissed off where Puff started snatching samples. When Lauryn Hill was doing
Yeah.
Roberta Flack, that's different. That's a cover. So make sure we have different
Yes.
names for different things. But yes, there was definitely a generation in the 90s where our parents was like, they just staking our hits.
Mhm.
So we're getting to the point. I remember, it may have been you I was talking to when
Yeah.
2 Chainz sampled A. Marie, and it was like, wait a minute now, that song is too new. And I'm like, well, player, that song 20 years old. It's very game. I remember when Mary sampled Lil Kim, and that song wasn't a year old. When she sampled I Can Love You, that wasn't even a year old. But that was a creative sample. Going back to your point about Sevyn, is that she was able to take a classic song,
Yep.
use the production, flip it, and tell a new story with it. So it's familiar,
Yes.
but it's not copy paste. That post that I did recently, I guess it was yesterday by the time this post, is that I am saying the difference between a good sample and a bad sample. Check out Lucky Day's song. I'm blanking on the name, the one with the half crazy beat.
Over.
That is a good sample because it's a familiar beat. It's slowed down. It's used differently. He's not singing crazy half. Like he didn't take everything music did and copy paste it. However, there is in the chat. Derry, tell me, what is the name of this little girl that like has this song with Nicki Minaj, and it's basically Bad Boys for Life. It's basically the exact same song.
Oh, I don't even.
That is a terrible sample because it's not even a sample. Like you are just basically making your own shower karaoke over a beat. That is horribly lazy because the beat's the same, the lyrics are the same. It's a horribly lazy interpolation. Like that is the problem with it. So you can sampling is cool. Take a beat, take one that's familiar, make put a new spin on it. You know it's a hit because it was already a hit. So you can make it another hit. But if you have no creativity, you're whacked. That's the difference.
Ed, I'm going to quickly take a look at who produced this song. I have a strange feeling it's probably Hitmaker.
Oh, boy. Your boy.
Young Berg.
No,
I'm taking a look here. Okay, it's not Hitmaker. Okay, I think we're good then. I think we're good. Hitmaker is cleared from all of this.
He's off the hook for now.
Yes.
But yes, that's another person that's on my list. Look, man, again, sampling is fine. Half these albums on this wall has a bunch of samples, and I love them. But the ones that were and to be fair, but they're the best ones. The ones that work the best are the ones that take an existing property, do something new with it without stomping all over the original. You're gonna do it, just don't copy paste.
Yes. I'm taking a look to see who produced this. A guy by the name of Loose Change. 50 Cent produced this?
Oh God, Loose Change. This sounds like his production, production studio.
Oh man, shoutouts to Ja Rule, who absolutely killed it in verses.
Oh my God, I knew we were gonna get to this. Well, shout out to Ja.
Just as I suspected it.
Well, here's the thing, and y'all were mad at me about this, but when is your boy ever wrong? Almost never. Because when this versus came out, I said it was horrible. Not because I don't love Fat Joe, not because I don't like Jaw. I do like Jaw. I just like to give you a hard time about him. But it doesn't fit. It's not a good fit. You cannot be having those sappy, goofy J-Lo songs versus Fat Joe and Big Pun talking about they're gonna shoot up everybody. Like that does not fit. That's not a versus. And then Fat Joe was cheating. He was putting songs up there I was like, you were not on Still Not a Player. Indeed. Talking about he executive produced it. You held the umbrella in the video. That's all you did. That should not count.
Yeah. One interesting that came up during that, I think they did an interview after, and Josh said him and Fat Joe had a conversation before verses, and they asked each other, "Are you going to play your R. Kelly record?" And
I didn't hear about this.
And they both said no. I think from Ja's standpoint was he had enough hits to not have to play that record, and that's maybe where Fat Joe kind of like stumbled, because hence why he started playing songs that weren't even his. But with that, as well as the news of R. Kelly being sentenced to, I don't know what the sentence is yet, but he's been convicted, and
you won't be sentenced till next year.
It's gonna be tough for Kells. And I listened to, actually, we're not even allowed to say his name, the Prince of Darkness. I'm sorry, I gotta get into character. Hotel by Cassidy came on like a couple of days ago, and I'm like, man, this guy's catalog is about to get erased. Maybe not officially, even though YouTube has like started taking down his stuff, but this man's legacy is about to like vanish really quickly here.
Well, here's the thing. It was already on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Kyle, should I do it? Should I do it? I think I'll do it. The following statements will be made by Edward T. Bowser of soulandstereo.com. Do not reflect the statements of Kyle of You Know I Got Soul.
Yes.
So listen to your boy as I go in. And y'all gonna be mad, but I don't care. This R. Kelly band, I will use his name for this because I'm gonna stumble and do it anyway. There are CDs on this wall from that I got the day they released. And you know what? At the time, I liked them. I will probably never open those CDs ever again because I just can't. And that is a personal decision that I've made. So YouTube has decided to start taking down the playlist with R. Kelly. I stand by that because that's YouTube. They can do whatever they want. Yep. They can take down their playlist. Where I hesitate is the conversation that every song he's ever made should be removed from every streaming platform. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be done, but it raises my eyebrow. And I've talked about this before because we're going to have a nuanced conversation here today. We're going to be nuanced. Yes. So listen to me before you start taking my stuff out of context. I hesitate with that because when you start making arbitrary rules, you have to wonder where the line is. So, yes, any YouTube R. Kelly playlist, take that mess down. Nobody need to hear that. If you want to make a playlist, make your own playlist. But if we start doing that, why are we doing that? Well, it's because he's been convicted of a crime. Yes. Okay. How many of y'all faves have been convicted of crimes, sex crimes, murder? If we start doing that, what's the line? And that's what I worry about with this. So I don't ever care to hear anything. I don't want to hear, he's defending. I ain't defending nobody. I'm not defending any of that. But we need to be careful because a lot of y'all faves that y'all running around here now, the baby out here got literal bodies on them and their stuff stands. So if we start picking and choosing, it's going to get very weird. With R. Kelly, are we going to take away the stuff that he wrote? Are we going to take away the stuff he produced? Because it's like, I don't care about Step in the Name of Love. When y'all start messing with them Aaliyah songs that just came back on streaming, you might get a little weird when Michael and Janet have to go in the closet.
Yes.
No pun intended with that. But I just want to, when it comes to this censorship conversation, I still say that it should be a personal choice. I do not think any company should be creating anything that celebrates his music. I don't think we should be creating any R. Kelly playlist courtesy of Tidal. Absolutely not. Do I think everything he has done should be erased from ever existing? I don't know. But I do think that it's important for the listener to say, I'm not going to do this. And the other thing is, do not use your fandom to take away from the pain of the women that were experiencing what he put them through. Because I see some of y'all on my IG, and I love you, but it's trash. I don't want to hear any, oh, I don't care what he did. I love that song. Well, then you're a problem. Because if you don't care what he did because of a song, you're putting your love of a song over the life of a human being. That's garbage. But to my point, I feel like it should be a personal decision before we start snatching everything down. Because if we snatching down everything from everybody that's ever done a crime, I hope you like listening to Yolanda Adams, because that's the only thing that's going to be on any streaming service.
Yeah, well said. And the thing is, there's reports that R. Kelly is going to be snitching and telling on everybody that has been involved in this type of stuff. And not going to get into
Man,
people's,
please.
I'm not going to get into people's business, but I am certain that there are other people involved. Maybe not to the extreme of R. Kelly, because he is the Prince of Darkness, but there are other people that probably have similar situations. And like you said, Ed, it's a tough thing to do. It has to be black and white here if you're going to be canceling people and taking out their music. And by the end of it, yeah, it's just going to be Yolanda Adams. And so I propose to you this. This is probably a better way for YouTube and all these other platforms to handle this cancellation. How about we just cancel the bad songs? Like, can Snake go? I don't like
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can we cancel the trash? Can we
Snake.
cancel that Bad Boys for Life song that I just heard? Take it out of here.
All right, I'm gonna give you a couple here. Estoy a Thongon?
Gone. Out of here.
Fiesta?
That song, that's not even a song. That's just like a sound effect. No,
Fiesta?
bye.
Fiesta?
I never liked Fiesta. Get it out of here. Y'all gonna be mad, but I never liked it.
Okay.
Bye.
So there you go. We'll just get rid of those three. And then
Yes, burn them. And there's some more too. Like, what's the song when he was talking about having sex in the zoo? That song can go.
yes.
Man, no. And people wonder why I could not see any of this happening. The man was talking about having sex at the zoo. Like, you didn't know something was weird.
Yeah.
And weird stuff going on. We ignored.
Yeah. But Ed, thankfully we have Anthony Hamilton to save us. Can we talk about his cover of Superstar with Jennifer Hudson?
We can
Wow.
talk all day about this. Man, listen, not that long ago on soulandstereo.com, y'all know I love ranking albums, and I ranked his discography. And part of me wished that I had waited to hear this, because sort of like Tamia's Love Life album, an album released very late in their career, their 20-year career. This is one of his best albums ever. Like, it would probably be number 2 or 3 on that list. It is great. That Jennifer Hudson collabo, that Superstar duet, fantastic. It doesn't have the big Charlene, the big hit. It doesn't have that, but just front to back, I think it's a great album. One of the best of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, because like the Jermaine Dupri records are great. And then he also had one with Little John, which is kind of random, but you kind of think back to their history. They were both signed to So Def, so it makes sense. But even you like that Little John song.
I couldn't believe it, because I saw the track list and I'm like, well, why is... So I got distracted. Your boy Theo talking about that Raggedy Black Panties album. But player, it's like I saw that and was like, why is Lil Jon? I do not want to hear him and all over an Anthony Hamilton song.
Yes.
But it works. And it's almost a trap beat. And this is why I've said before that I have no beef. I don't have beef with trap beats. I have beef with y'all pretending to be rappers on trap beats. Anthony Hamilton doing Anthony Hamilton. The beat is just what it is. Lil Jon being weird, but it all comes together. He's not trying to rap his song. It works. Again, great album. Y'all check it out if you haven't already.
Absolutely. I mean, I've heard some comments about Anthony Hamilton's voice changing, or it's different this time around. I think that has to do with like age. I think your voice just matures over time, changes over time. So it's just something we have to get used to. Like if you listen to a Mary J record today versus from '94, it's going to sound different. So he still
That's
sounds
just music.
he still sounds like he can sing, so that's good enough for me.
The Me Too. I remember hearing him on that song with Rick James. We put it on our countdown of best
Yeah.
songs a year or two ago, and I didn't even know it was him because he sounded so different. But
Yep.
your voice changes over time, and his voice changed. So, but he still sounds good. So
Yes.
again, I'm not comparing him to what he used to sound like. I'm comparing him to what he sounds like today. Sound pretty good today to me.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna bring up these albums as well, Ed. Just give me your quick 2 cents on it here. So we have
Got it.
JoJo's album. It's really an EP album project.
Yeah.
What the hell is it? What is a project album EP? Like, how do you distinguish the three now, Ed?
Player, I don't know if it's a playlist, mixtape, what the thing is, but this is a good project. It's relatively short. I looked
Yeah.
at the track list, and someone said it was like 12 tracks, but there's a bunch of interludes in there.
Yes.
But man, there's some good songs in it. JoJo is one of those underrated talents that just rarely disappoints. This one was solid.
Yes. The Stokley.
Stokley. Now, I'm a big Stokley fan, as many people know. Big
Yeah.
fan of him personally and professionally. Personally, I thought this was good.
Yes.
I've seen some kind of differing opinions on it. Some people love it. Some people thought it was okay. I didn't think it was as great as his last solo project, but it's not bad at all. It's
Yeah.
got some great songs. It's pretty cohesive throughout. There are a few spots that don't quite measure up. So it's a worthy listen. It's worth a listen. Not my favorite of the year, but definitely not a bad release.
Absolutely. Eric Bellinger. I know we have some Eric Bellinger. I'll say this about this album. The features on this album, he brought it. I think Sevyn's on the album, Brandy's on the album, Tidra Moses is on the album, and Eric's been
He
doing
got
it.
everybody on this joint.
Eric's been doing this for quite some time, and like I can't think of many artists that have put out the volume that he has. It seems like he has an album out every year.
Yes, it does. And yes, his fan base always reminds us that he has an album out. Look, this one is one that has, to me, it's a lot of potential. Lots of great features. I
Yeah.
saw what he was trying to do, but the argument I have with it is that some of that trendiness is unnecessary. Some of the vocal effects, not necessary. If he had pulled back on that, it would probably be up a little bit higher on my list. But
Yeah.
if you're a fan of those features that you mentioned, the Tidras and the Brandies and all of those, you're like, oh, I got to check them out. There'll be a song here or there for you. But
Yeah.
the album could have been a little bit higher if he pulled back on some of those sentences.
Yeah. And then we have Nail. Ed, I'll say this about Nail, because this is her third album. And I remember when her first album dropped, and I was like, this chick is going to be something. Like, she's from
Yeah.
the UK. I love the album. We're on album 3 now, and it seems like even even in album 2, it felt like the albums would just come out and then they would just vanish.
Yeah, it's weird because
yeah.
she's very talented. I like her song. I haven't heard this album yet. This is back
Yeah.
when I was in Vegas playing with babies. But the thing is that they're solid. She's got a lot of potential, but I feel like nothing ever gets momentum behind the songs. So
Yeah.
it drops. Twitter is like, oh, new song. And then we don't talk about it 2 days later. And that's kind of a shame. I'll check this one out. I'm hearing good things, and she
Yeah.
rarely disappoints. So this will probably be another good one.
Yeah. So, there's a lot that's gonna come soon as well. Silk Sonic, of course, being one. Monica's album is supposed to come out soon. She says it's done.
She's been saying that for 2 years. Monica, where the album at? We waiting. Come on.
And then we have Mary J. Blige announced a new album too.
Yes, Mary J. And we also heard that Mary, Eminem, Dr. Dre,
Yes.
and Snoop will be performing at the freaking Super Bowl. So when she announced that album, I was like, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It won't out of nowhere because like a few days later, she announced that Super Bowl thing. So she know what she's doing.
What-
And Mary's another one. Don't really have too many bad albums in her catalog.
What song or songs will Mary be performing at the Super Bowl? Because I think I want to say this is primarily a Dr. Dre spearheaded Super Bowl performance. I think it
pretty
would be
apparent.
because when you look at all the artists, they're somehow tied to Dr. Dre in some way. Will Mary J be allowed to perform more than just Family Affair?
Of course she'll perform more than that, but we gonna hear Family Affair. There will be hateration and holleration
Yeah.
at the Super Bowl dancery. That is no question. But I'm sure we'll hear Real Love. We'll hear. I mean, we won't be hearing like My Life. Like they're not gonna have him depressing standing in the rain
Can you?
song. But we'll hear that. I don't know if we hear anything like I Can Love You, but definitely Real Love and maybe Be Happy. I don't know, but it will be the more up tempo joints for sure.
Oh, and Just Fine.
No more drama, probably. That's another one that probably will make the cut.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I asked is with all those headlining acts, there's so many of them. Like Snoop could go 10 deep.
Yeah.
M can go like 15 if he really wanted to. Kendrick has a couple of big smashes as well, so it will be interesting to see how they fit this all into what, like 14 minutes? Isn't that normally how long it is?
Usually, and I think everybody will get a song or two, and
Yeah.
then Dre. Because honestly, most it's not like Dre's gonna do anything, so he's just gonna be on everybody's stuff. So
Yeah.
it'll work. I think it'll be 15, 20 minutes. I just can't believe for those of you who were born in 2006. I know this isn't a big deal, but for a brother who was literally born when hip hop was born, to see it get to the level of the Super Bowl is still mind blowing to me. I would have never thought, because I remember when everybody said this is just a fad thing that we'll just get over. It'll just be a fashion thing.
Yeah.
And now it's at the freaking Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal, y'all.
And then in about 20 years, we'll have the baby, little baby, all the babies will be joining in together for the Super Bowl. You just watch it.
The babies that aren't in jail or canceled, yes, they will be at the Super Bowl.
So we'll just have Birdman.
No, he'll be canceled or in jail for sure.
Oh man. Ed, what I want to do right now, and you've seen it on my Instagram, I've been asking people about their favorite songs from artists, a series of questions, if you will.
Yes, I love this. Yes, I love it.
So I'm gonna ask you, let's just do 3. Maybe we can do 5. We'll see. We'll see what the right answer is
All
here.
Right answer. Oh God.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long you take with these things, so we'll have to do this.
I'll have to do it off top, so it might not be the most like accurate answer, but we'll just roll through it.
Yes. Well, before we do that, can we talk about what Dru Hill had for lunch the other day? I think Nokia and
Oh
Blue.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
The chicken intermission. Yes, please
Yes.
explain to folks what this thing was. Was it black? I can't remember who it was that had it.
So it was Black, from Playa, from Dru Hill. He took a picture of what he was having for lunch, and he said it was a cheat meal. And man, it was a cheat meal, Ed. It
It
was
was a cheap meal. It was a cheap buffet.
it was like two burgers, but like the size of those patties, like you couldn't even like fit that whole thing in your mouth. So
For those watching, this is what the hamburger looked like. It was this high.
yes.
How you eat this?
Yes.
How? Like what?
With a side of fries.
Yes, and he had the fries. Ugh, I don't need that. Would just be garnish. That would be decoration. I ain't eating them fries. How do you eat that? You can't eat like the bun and then the cheese. Like you can't eat it separately. How if you cut it, it's gonna collapse.
Yeah.
How do you even eat this? You eat it with a fork?
Yeah, it was but as I was trying to figure out what the hell it was and where we got it and how they ate it, Ed, I read something on Nokio's page that was quite interesting.
Oh gosh, what was Nokia talking about? You can never tell.
So when he was eating with Black, that was actually the second burger that he was having. So he actually ate one prior to that.
He ate 2 of them?
He did.
What?
He said it was part 2. Yeah.
How is that possible?
And Nokio
I promise.
Nokio doesn't seem like a big guy either. So
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all have to see this burger. Go to their Instagram page. There is no way I could eat 2 of those things. If I ate one, that would be the only thing I ate all day.
Yes. Yeah.
And I still need a tutorial on how you physically eat it, because you ain't picking a burger up and eating this. Like no.
Might be
The
good.
burger's 4 feet tall.
Might be good though, Ed.
I mean, it looked good,
Yeah.
but how does it get done? That's the question.
I don't know. But on a side note, Jazz is back performing with the group, which is really good to see. The more Dru Hill members I see on stage, the happier I am. Then there's no more questions of where's so-and-so and who is so-and-so. If you just have all of them on stage, no one says anything.
Claire, do you remember in WCW when they had the NWO
Yes.
and they would come out and it would be like 90 dudes in the ring. Dru Hill is the new NWO. It's just like,
Yes.
just give them all a bunch of shirts with dragons on them and
Yes.
just have them out there because it's like a million dudes now. So, yes, I'm glad to see my boy Jazz is healthy enough to get out and be a part of it. He was just such an important part of the group in the early days.
Yeah.
So he deserves it. But, man, it's like 84 Dru Hill members. So have fun keeping all that straight.
This is true. All right, let's get into this. Favorite songs or favorite things by these artists.
Cool, yes.
We'll go with Destiny's Child first. Favorite single, favorite album, and most underrated song in their catalog.
Favorite single might be, and again, I'm going off top of the head, so y'all can yell at me in the comments about why I forgot such and such.
Hey man, don't be saying bootylicious. Your credibility goes
No,
out.
it's not bootylicious.
Your credibility goes out the door if you say bootylicious.
I'm gonna say, and y'all will be like, what? Get on the bus. I love that song.
I forgot about that.
So
one.
yeah. That is, and no one remembers it. It was on the Why Do Fools Fall in Love soundtrack,
Yes.
produced by Timbaland. It sounded like a rusty screen door as a beat. Love that song. So that would probably be my favorite single, just off the top of the head. Favorite album for sure is Destiny Fulfilled. By far their best.
Yes, I agree.
And most underrated, again, this is a no-brainer. Say My Name remix.
Ooh, you're going to the Timbaland route today.
Yes, that's what I got. They work very well with Tim, and they don't get enough credit for that.
Yeah. My favorite single is probably Cater to You or Girl. I really like Girl.
I forgot Girl was a single. That might have to be my new answer. Yes,
I really like
that's
Girl.
a good one.
My favorite
I love
album.
Girl.
My favorite album is Destiny Fulfilled, and the most underrated song in their catalog is, it might be "Is She the Reason."
That's a great one.
I might be
That's
on
a great one.
I think I'm on my 9th wonder today, guys.
Well, shout out to my boy Ninth. I love him. So yes, that's good picks from Kyle today.
Yes, yes. And hot take of the day: that Survivor album is one of the worst albums I've ever bought. I actually bought that album.
It is. I bought it too, and it was garbage. Yes, I need to rank their albums so I can diss the Survivor album, and people get pissed off because there's a generation that that's the only Destiny Child they know.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you got the inferior version, player. That album was whack.
Yeah, that was like, you know how like there are some albums that are like clear cash grabs? That's one of them.
They should have just had dollar signs of all three of their faces on that cover because it is not the business.
Yes. All right, next one here. Boys to Men, favorite song, favorite album, and most underrated song in their catalog.
Oh, this is gonna be tough.
Sorry, not favorite song, favorite single.
So yeah, favorite. The single is what makes it difficult.
Because Boys to Men they have a couple. More than a couple.
I'm just going off the top. Y'all gonna get mad. Favorite single, no. Water Runs Dry.
Yes, that's a good one.
Favorite album, easily too.
Mm-hmm.
Most underrated, Doing Just Fine.
Yeah. I would agree with you. If it's not Water Runs Dry for me, it's On Bended Knee.
Which would be, but that song, player.
It was too big.
You had to be there in 94. They played it too much. That one and I'll Make Love to You is just like they're good songs, but I wouldn't like to never hear them again. And it's been 25 years. I'm good.
Yes. All right. I mean, we've got time. We've got nothing better to do today. Let's go with our
we can roll with it.
We'll go with our guy, Usher Raymond IV, who still has yet to drop his album, but we're going to talk about him today.
Usher, what are you doing? We've heard half the album now. All the songs look great. Like, just give us the album. Do what Silk Sonic does. Just I forget it. Here's the album. So, best single, or favorite single.
Yes.
I'm leaning toward You Got It Bad.
That would be my pick.
That's what I'm leaning toward. favorite album, not best album.
Yeah.
Favorite album is My Way.
Mm.
Best, of course, is easily confess. Well, I wouldn't say easily confessions. 8701 does have a fight. It does have a dog in this fight.
Yes.
But when it comes to nostalgia, and just got to go with My Way. Most underrated by far. I love this song. I don't care what y'all say. Confessions Part 1. Love that song.
Now
love it way more than Confessions Part 2.
Now that's a hot take right there.
Yes, love that.
Favorite single is You Got It Bad, although you don't have to call. It's like knocking at the door and it's saying, "What about me?"
I thought that was going to be your pick because I know how
Yeah.
much you love that song.
Favorite album will probably have to be 8701. It could also be Here I Stand, really, if I really want to go there. My Way is Usher has good albums, so it's tough to
Yeah, he does.
choose between them. Raymond versus Raymond is not on that list, unfortunately.
It's fine. I don't hate it. It's fine.
No, man. I mean, at the time, I really liked it, but when I look back at it, I'm like, I don't listen to a lot of these songs anymore.
No, it's just what it has a couple good songs, as we know, but it
Yeah.
was okay.
Yeah. Most underrated song in the discography. I mean, I think it's easy to pick songs like Superstar and Throwback, but they're not really considered underrated because everyone loves those songs.
That's why I didn't pick them.
I mean, Can You Help Me is a sleeper.
That's a good one.
I
Yep,
might go
that's a
with
good
that one. There's a couple, man, but because you got to go to like I Will or Bedtime.
I Will. That's
Yes.
that I might have to change my. I Will is high on my list. Might have
Yes.
to change it.
And then you have a couple off his debut as well that no one knows about, but I'm just gonna go with Can You Help Me?
I'm okay with Can You Help Me? And for those who haven't heard the debut, the debut is not My Way. Like, check out the debut. It's pretty solid. I think it holds up.
Yes. Yep. Oh man. Oh, Ed, but you cannot forget the song Twerk It Out.
Twerk It Out. Yes, that's a great one.
You cannot
Yes,
forget that one.
I totally forgot about that song until I heard it again while we were in Vegas, and
Yes.
my brother-in-law was just playing Confessions randomly.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, not just even Confessions, he just had an Usher playlist and he was just playing random stuff. I'm like, I forgot about these songs.
Yep.
Yes, Usher, give us some new music. Come on, man. We'll wait.
Mhm. I'm gonna give you just a couple more here. I'm skipping a couple just because we're running out of time, but Genuine.
Oh, this is a tough one. 'Cause I know I'm gonna forget something.
Yeah.
Favorite song.
It's a tough one. He has a couple.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say it's I'm Sorry, but I know that's probably, I'll say that for now. I'm sure you'll say something and then I'll be like, no, that's not the real answer. So I'll say that for now. I'll do anything. That's definitely high on the list.
That's really good.
So we're talking about album, of course. I got to go with The Life. I love that album. Super underrated.
Yeah.
Super underrated. And then most underrated song in his discography. I know y'all gonna be like, this is a weird answer. But it was a single. I love There It Is. Like, it was just something so weird about it. And he's like yelling through the song. I love that song. And I know I'm staying for the Life album. So those are my three. No. How did I forget the Aaliyah joint from the second album?
Final Warning.
Yes, Final Warning. I got to go with that.
Yeah.
That one just popped in head. Let's do Final Warning instead.
He's
got a lot.
There it is. That Ungrateful-ish. Oh man.
I love that song. It's so hilarious. But I got to go with Final Warning.
Can you play There It Is to the females?
If you want to keep your anatomy attached, no, you would not do that. Let me tell you, as a married man, don't play that song to them.
That might be a love letters for later, but
I played a house note, the car note. Like, no, don't take it there, brothers. Don't take it there. Bad things will happen.
Oh man. All right. For me, favorite single would have to be So Anxious. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite
Understood. Many would agree with you.
favorite album, and I've actually had this debate with myself on what his best album is, and that might be a conversation for another day, whether it's his first album or his second album, because I lean towards his second album being his best. But that first album, that Bachelor album from top to bottom, like that's a sound that, you know, it was one of its own. That and the Aaliyah album, the One in a Million album, like those were the two that kind of like spearheaded that new sound. And it's just, even when you listen to it today, it's so dope.
That's what I was about to say. You listen to it today, it still sounds fresh. It does not sound like anything before or since. That's when y'all scream classic and what's the other thing they like? Cultural shift.
Cultural shift.
Come on, player. Like
Cultural.
those albums were cultural shifts because the landscape shifted. It's not I like a song. What's the girl name? Normani did the dance on MTV Awards. It was a cultural shift. She just shifted her legs. That was a dance. There was no shift there. This was a cultural shift.
Remind me to get into that rant about cultural shifts after I talk about my favorite or most underrated Genuine song.
All right, but go ahead.
Man, this is a tough one.
I was struggling. This one was hard.
Oh. See, I'm not trying to go.
Cultural reset. Thank you, Theo. Cultural reset. That's
man.
what it is.
We're
gonna get on it.
You know what? I'm gonna give The Life some love. There's a song on there called Why Did You Go? That's a really good song.
Player, you gotta lift holy hands. The church folks know what I'm talking about. Man, I love the Life album. I don't think y'all give it enough credit. It's not the Cultural Reset album, but man, that album's good.
We're calling everything a cultural reset now, Ed?
Now, apparently, that's what we do in 2021. This that sandwich that Black had was a cultural reset. It might have been a digestive reset too.
Should I go there, Ed?
No, don't go there yet. Give us your underrated song and then go there.
Yeah, my underrated song is Why Did You Go?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's get into that topic about cultural resets. And this is no shot to any artist because it's not their fault. I mean, I guess to a degree it could be if they're the one that's like self-proclaiming that something is a cultural reset. And if that's the case, then they need to stop that because it just looks dumb when you say it. Like if somebody else is saying it, fine. But if you claim it yourself and nothing happens, then you're held accountable for it. So stop proclaiming things that aren't going to happen realistically.
Player, listen to me. Nobody called Aretha Franklin the queen. Nobody called, Aretha Franklin did not call herself that. Other people did.
Yes.
Michael did not call himself king of pop. Other people did. Because that was a consensus that came behind you. If they were running around saying this and they hadn't even had any weight to their words, they would have looked stupid. Just like these artists look stupid, talking about they're resetting something when you haven't learned to reset your genesis from 1993. Like, that's not what this is. Like, this self-congratulatory climate that we have rings hollow to me when you have no substance behind it. At least if you're going to say you got it, you better produce it, because I ain't seeing it.
Yes. But the other thing that I was going to say, Ed, isn't it interesting, and I might be taking a shot at everyone on Twitter right now, but
do it. Take them shots.
The people on Twitter that are complaining about the state of R&B and how much it sucks right now are also the same people that like hold on to these one or two artists who are talented, don't get me wrong, but what they're talented at goes against what they're complaining about. The lack of great songs, the lack of vocal capability. This is the stuff, the lack of feeling, this is the stuff that we complain about in R&B today. But then when I look at Twitter to see who these people are standing for and who they're championing, these are not the people that you feel like is lacking in R&B. It's just interesting.
Oh, I love it. You've been sipping the Soul and Stereo soup today because you are on my wavelength.
It is just so hypocritical to me. It's like, if you love real singing, real R&B, and you're missing that feeling, then what you should be doing is going on Twitter and standing the Shindellas. Like, it makes sense to me. You want something, you see it here, they're not that big, push them to the top. But what I'm seeing is a lot of, I'm missing real R&B. I'm missing real singer, but I'm championing Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. It's like,
Player,
what are we doing here?
player, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And they're gonna be mad at you, but don't be mad. Keep it real. I'm gonna say it like I said, and y'all gonna be mad because this is why I find most of these hot takes that y'all, and I'm talking about not just people I don't know, people I do know, people I'm cool with, people
Yep.
I hold in high esteem. Y'all stupid. I love you, but you're stupid. And here's why. Because you talk about you want to do this for the genre, you want to do that for the genre. R&B needs to be here, R&B needs to be there, blah 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 blah. Doja Cat is the best R&B artist today. What?
Yep.
I love Doja Cat, but come on now. Like we have all these fancy tweets to get all these little retweets and all these likes and all this support, and even big name artists will like the stuff. But then you contradict it because then you celebrate people who go against what you're saying. And this ain't just R&B, this is music Twitter in general.
Yes.
People get mad at me because they're like, oh, you hate everything. I'm like, no, I have a set of core values that I like. And
Yes.
whether it's somebody that does something stupid that I hate, or if it's Keith Sweat himself who puts out a song I don't like, I will say it's trash. I love you, Keith, but I don't like that song. But we're in this weird place where we will say all this grandiose stuff, but then we'll pick and choose our favorites. And then it just is hypocrisy to your point, to everything you just said. So I don't care about nothing you say, because to me, you have no credibility. And this goes for some of the biggest accounts on social media. Not everybody, but some of the biggest ones today ain't talking about nothing because you're hypocritical. Kyle, you done got me started, but you telling the truth this morning.
Hey man, I don't say a lot on social media. I really try to stay away from tweeting and stuff because that's how I get in trouble for things. But I'm just saying
Yes,
what I
we know.
see, and yeah, I see a lot of this. But back on topic here, I'm gonna give you two more before we get out of here because
All right.
we're running late. I gotta go back to sleep. It's like 8 a.m. and
Yes, it's very early for you.
yeah, I might go get a McGriddle actually. I haven't had one of those in a while.
I haven't either. I would get a McGriddle. If Tom was here, he would scream, "Oh, McGriddle! Oh, why don't you just eat this granola and this boiled chicken?" But no, we like flavor in our food.
Well, the only issue with the McGriddle is it's messy. Like if you touch it, your hands are gonna be sticky.
Well, I mean, it's basically a pancake sandwich. So yes, if
Yeah.
you touch it, you're gonna get like syrup all over you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last long. I'm eating it in 2 seconds.
Oh, there you go. All right, Toni Braxton, favorite singer, favorite single, favorite album, most underrated in this discography. Toni Braxton has a lot.
She got a lot. My favorite.
I think as you're thinking, Ed,
Go
I
ahead.
think mine is. I want to say it's "Let It Flow." Like that's the first one that comes to mind right now.
Okay. I'm leaning toward "Breathe Again,"
Mm.
but it could be. I mean, everything off that first album is. I could pick anything off the first album, but I'll say "Breathe Again."
Mm. Favorite album.
I just said it. The first one, can't beat it. 5 stars easily.
See, I'm going with the second one. I think the first one is better, but the second one I like more. I think it's more. What's the word without being that I can use without being offensive? It sounds. I can't say dated because that's not right either. Although I can't really listen to anything like pre 1994. It just sounds old to me. But
I mean, I get it.
yeah, I think 96 is when like the sound really started to change, and that's when like that album came out. So yeah, that's why I go with Secrets as my favorite. But hey, you can't go wrong with the debut. There's a lot of great songs on there.
You can't go wrong with the sophomore either. So like, it's 1 and 2 to me. They're very close.
Well, you can't really go wrong with the Libra album either, Ed. That just hit streaming platforms recently.
Yes, and that would be my most underrated song because if you know me, you know the song I love off of that album. Take This Ring.
Yes.
I'm not saying that personally because I'm getting in trouble. But yes, Take This Ring. That is my most underrated song.
You know what? I would probably have to go with that as well. But just to be different and to stand out. I mean, I love me some Him is definitely up there.
Of course. Can't
Uh,
blame you.
what's that record that Carrie Hilson wrote on Libra? Supposed to be. I like
Yo,
that.
yes, that's a good one. That's a great one.
I like
Yes.
that one. Uh, there's a couple. I think Brandy wrote one called Selfish on the More Than a Woman album.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
I don't hate that album either. I know she doesn't like that album, but I like
yeah,
that album. It's all right.
yeah. Do you like the song that Irv Gotti produced, Me and My Boyfriend?
I don't even remember that song. I'm sure you do,
Yes,
but I don't
yes.
even remember that song. I
It's
remember the song with Loon. I did like that song.
oh, with Pharrell?
Yes, Hit the Freeway. I like
Yes,
that one.
that's a good song. All right, last one for you, Ed, before we get out of
Okay.
here. You know I had to take it there. Ashanti.
Oh boy. Oh my God. Ashanti, must we? Must we?
Listen, Ed,
All right.
when I posted it on our Twitter and it had Ashanti's photo on it, someone commented and wrote, I don't know about songs, but she's fine as hell.
That is the right answer. All right. Favorite song. Look, player. I give you grief about Ashanti, but at one point I was a big Ashanti defender. I just think that in 2021 there's a lot of nostalgia and a lot of rewritten history when it comes to some of her stuff. But early Ashanti is fine. My favorite would probably be either Movies or Good Good. Oh no, Movies wasn't a single. So Good Good. Let's do Good Good.
Yes.
Best album easily. Y'all don't agree, but by far the Declaration.
Wow.
Like by far her most complete album. The rest of them be all over the place. The Declaration easily. And then most underrated is no, Movies probably isn't underrated. So let's say what was the Seven Aurelius song?
Don't Leave Me Alone.
Don't Leave Me Alone. Yes.
Yeah.
That one. Yes, let's go with that.
Yeah, I'd say Only You is my favorite single. Favorite album is the debut, although the Declaration is up there as well. I'll give you that. And then yeah, Don't Leave Me Alone is most underrated. And I mean, we can put Movies in there. I think that's an underrated song.
I feel like there was a version of Movies that I have that it was, I guess she recorded it pre
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I like that version a lot too. I could put that in the most underrated one. It's different vibe. I kind of like that one.
All right. And Ed, just to make your life miserable, we're gonna go with one more here, just for you.
Okay.
Keith Sweat.
What? I can't answer that.
All right.
Asking me to count the stars in the sky, the sand on the beach. Like this is too much greatness.
Okay, well if you don't want to do that, I'll give you a cop out here.
Well, I'll do it.
But hear me out on the cop out. You can even do both if you want. You can do both if you want. So today is or this weekend is Thanksgiving in Canada. So we're gonna see a lot of family gatherings, and one person that you're actually related to is Chris Brown.
Cousin Chris, oh my God.
For the audience that's just tuning in, can you please explain how you're related to Chris Brown?
I can't even explain it. It's like I'm gonna get it wrong. It's like his aunt married somebody in something. Like it's some weird thing. It's like cousin 94 times removed. But yes, like it's I remember it had something to do with his aunt. His aunt married somebody in my family. And we're all from Virginia, so it's not a surprise.
Wait,
but
so
sorry. That's how we're related.
So would there ever be a time if there was a huge family reunion that you guys would be in the same vicinity as one another?
Probably, if there was like a huge family reunion. If my dad's side had the family reunion and my aunt's uncle's fam came down to it.
Wow.
There is a very slim chance. But I doubt it. It probably wouldn't be good. If he reads Soul and Stereo, it would not be good.
No,
So
it would not.
we'll just say that Cousin Chris is just off on the side.
All
So
right.
anyway,
Yes.
let me do Cousin Chris will be easier. So let me do him. Favorite song from him, easily Yo.
Yes.
Love that song.
Yes.
That's the Chris we know and love. Favorite album, the debut.
Yes.
Again, the Chris we know and love before things went left. Most underrated song isn't even a R&B song because he's barely on it. It's the Deuces remix.
Wow.
I love a good posse cut, and this one had everybody on it, a bunch of rappers being miserable. The verses, like the Andre verse is hilarious, the Kanye verse is hilarious, the Fabulous verse is hilarious. Love that song. That one was pretty easy.
That was pretty easy. Yeah, because I'm gonna go with Yo as the single, debut as the favorite album, and then underrated song. I'm gonna go with it's off the debut. Your Man Ain't Me. There's a line in there, Ed.
Oh, that's
It just explains the innocence that we used to have in R&B. There was a line that said, "He ain't fly, he don't even drive." See,
don't even drive.
he don't even drive. And I was like, man, I get it. I was 15 at that time as well. I'm like, I get it, Chris. That guy is not me. He doesn't even have a car.
And he ain't me. He's still 13 with his Pokemon cards.
There you
what
go.
an innocent time.
There you go.
Let me try running it through Keith real quick as our time runs up. So,
Yes.
favorite Keith Sweat song? That's an impossible question. I will go with Nobody.
That's a cop-out
Get Up-
answer.
It could be Get Up on It, though.
Yeah.
I'll do Get Up on It since you're hating on Nobody. Let's
Yeah.
do Get Up on It.
It's not
Favorite album?
It's not Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
It's absolutely not Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. You know, anytime someone says, oh, you're biased, you only stand for your faves, I just say 3 words. Eeny, Meeny, Miny. I guess Mo is the 4th word. Forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I'm
Because
gonna
Keith gets no love for that. So anyway.
I'm gonna go listen to that later.
No, well, I will not be listening to that later.
Okay.
Favorite album, of course, is the self-titled.
Yes.
I mean, I say that. The debut was pretty great, too. But both of those great. I'll go with self-titled, just for nostalgia. And most underrated song, I could name 30. He has his unreleased song called Abracadabra. That's so stupid, but so good that he should have. I'm surprised he didn't just like drop it on an album because it's great. I'll go with that for most underrated. He's pretending to be Harry Potter in the song. It's great.
Wow. All right, I gotta go listen to that. Wow.
It's great. He's got the backup. You got the backup female vocalist. It's fun.
You know what? I'll tell you what. So my favorite Keith song is probably. You know, I actually like Twisted more than Nobody. I don't know if I ever told you that.
A lot of people do. I can't hate on that.
Favorite album, I think the first one is his best one. But what was it? His 96 album? Is that it's his
That's
that
the
one's-
self-titled one.
That one is really good. Underrated song. I really like the song that he has with Little Mo, $1,000,000.
Yes, I love that song.
That's
Great
a really
pick.
good song. That's
Great
a good
pick.
song. That's a great song. So yeah, Keith has a couple under his belt, Ed, believe it or not.
A couple? That man has many under his belt. He has many belts as well.
Yes, yes. So, Ed, I think that's it. Oh, we got to do a love letter really quickly here.
Yeah, we didn't do one real quick. You can do the Lil Mo song. I'll trade $1,000,000.
No, that would be letting you off the hook. We got to talk about this one. So,
Okay.
my favorite singer of all time, Ed. He is also in Fast and Furious.
Oh boy.
He's also in Transformers.
Oh,
You
I
know
know where we're going.
You know where we're going with this, Ed?
I do, but go ahead and explain for the audience.
So
This
Love
guy.
Letters is a segment on soulandstereo.com, Ed's website, where he answers love-related questions, relationship-based questions, just scenarios that you wouldn't even think about, or situations that are common occurrences and you do not know how to handle them. Ed with his
And they're real questions from real people, y'all. There's y'all going through some things. Eesh.
Ed with his expertise in relationships chimes in and gives you his thoughts. And this week we have a situation on Twitter and Instagram that I saw that Tyrese posted. And Tyrese has been known to post some things that are. Do people still use the word edgy? Is that still a thing?
I guess it's the thing. I would not compare his stuff to edgy. I would say deranged, but you go ahead.
Well, I know Facebook and Instagram were like down for like a whole day, and that was probably why.
Yes, that is exactly why.
But this is what happened. And this is the second time it's happened, but this time was even more extreme. So when Tyrese originally announced his separation from his ex-wife, he posted a picture of them and said something along the lines of, "We had a great run. I'll always love you. Thank you for the memories." So it was sentimental. I personally wouldn't do that on my social media, but Tyrese is Tyrese, and to each his own.
But you have to finish telling the story.
So that was his ex-wife, and then he got with someone new, and they were dating for a couple of months. And he posted a picture of her on his Instagram, and it was a picture of her in a bathtub, naked. You don't actually see any parts, but she's in a bathtub.
Didn't she cover up a part or something with like an emoji?
It's possible.
Oh my
and
God.
Tyrese's caption there was, "We had so much potential. Thanks for the memories, blah, 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 blah." So I'll say this. The first post with the ex-wife, even though I personally wouldn't do it, I'll give it a pass. But the second post with his ex-girlfriend in the bathtub and him saying we had so much potential, that's a shot right there, isn't it, Ed?
Player, can we break this down? Look, I
Yes.
don't have a problem with the first post. The first post is okay. I know some people had a problem with that. I don't care. It seemed mature. Maybe they're in a good place. Social media is weird because it's like people feel like that you have to have enemies with your exes. I don't hate my exes. Like they all right. As long as they stay away, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like you can have relationships with people and not date them anymore. I thought that was fine. Why are you posting a grown woman in the tub? Look, it's not like I posted, you know, when you see baby pictures and like, I wish Tom was here to talk about this, but like baby pictures and the baby's in the tub and it's cute because it's a baby and, you know, a baby just like a blob of human meat. It's not like you see like boobs or anything. So it's fine. It's cute. Just cover up the naughty bits. You got a grown tail woman in this old funky looking tub. Not even a nice tub. It's like a regular tub. So it's a regular old hotel, Motel 6 tub. And you got her in there. You did that as a shot because it doesn't matter what the caption was. You knew people were going to fixate on that raggedy tub. You did that to embarrass that lady. You're whack, Tyrese. That's whack. Like you try to kind of let me kind of disguise this and say, oh, well, I said nice things. But it's the equivalent of having a nice, pretty package and opening it up and it's flaming turds inside. It's still bad. That's what that was to me. Garbage.
Wow. That was not where I thought that was going to go, Ed. I thought you were going to be like, I'd do the same thing.
What? Good Lord.
On a side note, do you like that Tyrese song with Snoop, Just a Baby Boy?
No, I do not like that song. He had another song with Snoop I liked, though. It wasn't that one.
Oh,
you were going to say one.
Oh, Dumb-ish.
Yes, that I like because it's funny. But Just a Baby Boy was stupid. No, I did not like that song.
Damn. All right. Damn. All right, I think that's it for this week, unless I'm missing something. Oh, second love letters here. Rasby apologized to Omarion. I think we're good now.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, sorry. Correction, not Rasby, Lil Fizz.
Oh, no, Lil Fizz. Yeah, don't get us in trouble. Like,
yes,
we're getting messed up here. No, it was not Rasby.
Yes.
That's a whole other. We're going to pray for Rasby, put him on the prayer list. But no, Fizz.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Fizz apologized, and everybody's like, oh, too little, too late. kind of. But the thing is, he needed to apologize.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, this guy was dating Omarion's ex, and they look. If you want to date somebody's ex, y'all keep that between the three of y'all, because I would never date someone of my friend's ex. I don't care how fine they are. But not only did they do it, they rubbed it in his face on social media consistently.
Yes.
And then he got kicked off the tour. Like, it was ridiculous. But to Omarion's credit, he kept it G. He did not fall for the troll bait. He kicked him off the tour, as he should have. I would have done that. But he didn't fall for the foolishness. So I always respected O for that. So he's come back. He's apologized. But the reason why I'm looking at you with the player please face is, didn't they break up?
Yes.
Am I mistaken?
Yep.
So you waited until the relationship failed and then said I was wrong, instead of saying I was wrong when you wish it. That makes it sound like you were like, oh yeah, she was terrible. I guess you were right. Now, like, no, you don't come crawling back. That comes off hollow. If they were still together and he was like, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. But now you wait till it falls apart. Now you're trying to get this B2K tour money. I'm looking at you sideways. That's the problem I have with this.
But I wouldn't mind a new B2K album, Ed, if this is what it leads to.
Well, we need to talk to Ras B about that, and that's another conversation, because I don't know if he's on board.
Yeah, that's true. We shall see. But Ed,
Poor B2K, what a mess.
They were a phenomenon, Ed.
Oh, they were, but they are also a Lifetime movie at this point.
I wouldn't mind watching that. So, Ed, I think that's it.
I bet you would.
Ed, that's it for this week. Guys, go watch Squid Game, and maybe we'll do like an R&B Squid Game next year, and the winner gets a #1 hit. The rest of them, well, I don't want any R&B artists to die. We gotta think of like an alternate way for them to like lose.
I don't want them to lose their lives, but there are some people whose careers, if it got shot to pieces, I wouldn't mind some career suicide for some of these people y'all hype up, because they are,
Yeah,
no.
maybe
Can you imagine? I'm not gonna name names, so I'm gonna get in trouble.
Maybe if they lose, they're not allowed to record music again.
For a whole year, you're not allowed. Well, some of them that don't, they do a year anyway.
Yeah, 5.
5, yes.
Yes.
Let me see how your girl Summer Walker does in this Squid Games. We gonna see how the 2021 Lauryn Hill apparently will do in the Squid Games. She wouldn't make it past the big doll baby lady.
Isn't she coming out with an album soon?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I recall reading that.
I recall erasing it from my brain.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna listen to it soon, Ed. We'll do a live stream of it. Live stream reaction.
It will be, by the time we get to track 3, I will be canceled like it canceled Kelly. That's what will happen to me, because y'all will run me off the internet. I will not have good things to say.
Wait, did you say Kelly as in Kelly Price?
No, I meant, we haven't even talked about my girl Kelly Price. I was talking about the Prince of Darkness, Kelly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about Kelly. I don't even know where to begin with that one.
That's what we should have did her at the start of the show. That'll be next week.
Yes.
I'm just happy. I will just say that my girl seems to be in better health and spirits. So shout out to her for that. As you know, my favorite album of all time. Shout out to Kelly Price. So glad she's doing better. And I will leave it at that, because y'all did not know how to act when that was going down.
You know what? For as much flack as I give Twitter during those times, they are some investigating people.
They are investigating, but they will make up a fact so quick. I was out of town for this too. I had heard so much stuff. I thought she got kidnapped by aliens. I didn't know what happened. And she's sitting at her husband's house. She's doing fine now, y'all. Leave her alone.
Leave her alone.
Leave it at that.
Yep. All right, Montrez, before we get out of here, I haven't listened to Sevyn's album, but how come you haven't reviewed her album?
Oh, yes, we didn't mention Sevyn today. I didn't hear that because that was one of the albums that dropped when I was out of town. Yeah. The album is okay. I mean, just a quick review. I thought it was okay. It's kind of what I like and don't like about Sevyn. She's a great songwriter. She has great songs. The Taboo song that we talked about earlier, sample and Alexander O'Neal. She's got some really good stuff there. But then she's got some of those same old kind of trappy, kind of trendy, kind of ooh, I'm sexy, but not really sexy songs. Like those unsexy songs are like my big pet peeve right now. So a little uneven, but there's definitely some good stuff there. So
Yes.
if I were to review it, it'd be that 3.5 probably range. Not a bad album, but if you're a Sevyn fan, check it out.
Yes, absolutely. So, guys, that's it for this week. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. We'll try to do this again more often, so that our episodes aren't like 2 hours long like they are today. But we tried.
Basically,
We tried. We couldn't even get
we
to
had a lot
Kelly.
to get through.
We couldn't even get to Kelly Price. So I promise you we'll be back again soon to talk more R&B. But you guys stay safe as usual. Buy your toilet papers because I think Ed's gonna take them all at this point.
Yes, and the COVID number's gonna rise soon, so
Yes.
get ready, y'all.
Yeah.
Act like you got some. Put your mask on. Put your mask on. Act like you got some sense. Jeez.
All right, that's it. Oh, Ed, we forgot about Khaleesi's single too.
Oh yes, we did. And what an interesting single. What did you think about that before I jump in? We'll keep this
Well-
real quick, y'all.
Yeah, I think this is like our fourth like goodbye. The Khaleesi single was cool. It felt like a song that Beyonce would sing. I don't know if you got that same vibe to it, but it was like rapping at one point, singing at one point, speaking at one point. It was just like everything mumbled together. But the song is not bad.
No, it's one of those songs that I feel. Well, every Khaleesi song is kind of weird in
Yeah.
that it's like a uniqueness to it.
Yeah.
Because her stuff never sounds like anything else. But I kind of feel you. It does sound like something that would be off of that Beyonce self-titled album,
Yeah.
just in the delivery of it.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs that probably would grow on me after a while. It's not bad at all. If you're a Khaleesi fan, you definitely got to get on it. Not a bad return to form for her.
But I do notice that a lot of Khaleesi songs like are named after like food or eating, which is interesting.
Well, you know, she's like a chef and she has like a farm or something like that.
Oh yeah, that reminds
she's
me.
all about the food.
Yo, because I was on Khaleesi's culinary website a while ago. She was selling like spices, and like one of them cost
Yeah.
like $200.
What? I'm not paying $200 for some Laris, some Old Bay. Get out of here, Khaleesi.
It might be good though.
It ain't that good, I promise you.
Hey Ed, if it's as good as her first album, count me in.
Well, I guess that. Let me chill. I was about to say something about the Nas money, but I'm gonna get in trouble. So
Yeah, don't say anything.
help her out with her $200 spices. I'ma chill. You
Yes.
get me going, Kyle. You got to bring me in.
Well, all I know, Ed, is that your wife probably dated you because you were a popular thug. That's a great song, by the way.
Oh my gosh! Yes, that must be the reason why.
Yes. All right.
I gotta go through some Khaleesi today. That'll be my prop for the day.
Yes, you should. All right, I think we're out of here. Everyone have a good week. We'll talk again soon, and we'll try to do this again next week. So you guys stay safe, and we'll talk soon.